So I would say it means an unwillingness to conform to what the world's view of me is, and to accept what God's view of me is, and just trust that His plan is good, and that as long as I'm on it, I can just keep going. Just putting one foot in front of the other, trusting that the plan is coming to fruition.
The Podcast Empire, podcast mastery for women in business.
Welcome to another exciting, unstoppable episode with the Podcast Empire. Today, we have an unstoppable guest joining us, an author who has unlocked the secrets to leaving an incredible legacy through overcoming adversity. Celeste's remarkable insights and experiences have touched the lives of countless individuals, inspiring them to rise above challenges and make their mark on the world. Get ready to embark on a transformative journey as we delve into the wisdom and the resilience of our unstoppable guest. Celeste is one of the collaborative authors behind the Unstoppable book series, wonderfully produced by Elsa Morgan. The first two series were Amazon #1 bestsellers, which is super awesome. Now, Celeste is spinning all the plates as a career mum, as a nurse. She's full time in public health. She has a side business as well. And we'll touch on points of that during our interview today as well, because we know what it's like to be busy mothers, building a business, leaving a legacy. So sit back, relax, and prepare to be as inspired as what the Unstoppable series will allow you to be, and explore the perseverance and the legacy we can all create. Let's begin this unstoppable conversation. Welcome, Celeste, to the Podcast Empire.
Thank you. Hi, it's nice to be here.
It's great to have you. Now, your chapter in the Unstoppable book is In God's Timing. Now, I don't have any insight into what any of the author's chapters are. And I love it when a chapter title just hooks me and I want to know more. So, what inspired you to write a chapter about overcoming adversity and leaving a legacy?
So actually, when Elsa first asked me to write the chapter, it was a book or two ago, and I first told her no, because I didn't really think that I had much to say. I didn't think my life was that interesting. Who would read a book about, crazy, busy mom, but then I thought about it, and that's not really the message that I want to teach my daughters. I want them to know that their voice deserves to be heard and that they have a story to tell, and that we all go through, life, and there's adversity in everyone's lives. So, they have a right to be heard too. And so do I. So, I just wanted to jump off the cliff and take Elsa's offer, and so, yeah, that's why I decided to do it.
Well, that kind of really sums up legacy, doesn't it? You want to be able to, leave a mark or messages of impact or a different perspective for the next generation. Like you said, for your girls, this is going to be a
Mhm.
lasting memory of something wonderful that their mum did. And they can forever pass that down for generations and read the story of what came before them and how they
Yeah.
can change, those generational cycles that's in our DNA and all the rest of it, and leaving a legacy has so many different meanings for so many different people. And I'd love to know, Celeste, like, what does unstoppable personally mean to you?
So I would say it means an unwillingness to conform to what the world's view of me is, and to accept what God's view of me is, and just trust that His plan is good, and that as long as I'm on it, I can just keep going. Just putting one foot in front of the other, trusting that the plan is coming to fruition, and that no matter what happens, I'm going to get there. It's it that's part of the reason that it is in God's timing, because my life hasn't gone, the cookie cutter, high school, college, marriage, children, all of that like in a row. It's all been kind of jumbled together, but it is all in his timing, and I'm gonna make it. And I feel that as long as I'm following that plan, then that's what unstoppable means.
I love that, and I love how you touched on we're brought up with this almost programming, or if you go outside the quote unquote normal, you leave school, you go to college, you get married, you have kids, and it's okay. And I think that's a really powerful message that you're sharing there as well. It's okay if you're a thought leader and a critical thinker and a disruptor, and it's okay to pave your own path and stand out and not fit in. And I love that powerful message, because we really need to normalize that message. It's okay not to fit in. It's okay to pave our own path. It's okay to, not go with the norm. And we really need to embrace that and educate, future generations as part of our legacy as well, I believe, Celeste, for having celebrate people with that strength, like yourself, as part of the Unstoppable book, sharing that story as well. And
I also think it's important just that, if you fall back and you make mistakes and you don't do things in the order that you wanted to originally, it's super important to just keep going and, like pick it up and keep going. Because, that wasn't maybe my plan, but it's, I'm still following my dreams. And I think that it's important to just not quit when you fall down.
absolutely, absolutely. And especially if we've got those dreams, that fire in our belly, right? That keeps us
Yeah.
motivated, just like yourself. I love that. I really celebrate that. Now, In God's Timing is a powerful chapter. Now, with the process of In God's Timing, when you're writing, can you maybe share a little sneak peek or specific strategies or techniques that you kind of share a little bit without giving it away? Because we want our audience to read your chapter in the Unstoppable book, but maybe a sneak peek into what it took for you to write a chapter about overcoming adversity and leaving a legacy as well.
So honestly, when I started writing, they tell you how many words you've got, how many pages, and I'm like, I don't know if my life is interesting enough to write that many pages. Um, so I'm a list maker. Kind of, and I have to be. When you juggle a lot of different things, you just kind of have to make a list, do your checklist. It keeps you organized. So I would definitely recommend that. But going through it, I'm like, okay, what highlights do I want to hit on and make my list? Prayer always starts my day. And I always, talk to God about what I want to do and what the day is going to look like before I start anything. And then in the middle, when you're frustrated, with pretty much anything, but specifically like with writer's block or, what am I going to say? How do I say this without offending someone, because not all of life is beautiful and roses and you could potentially step on toes. I just take a second to pray about that too. And leaning on my support system is huge. You have to have a support system. I have an amazing husband. My mom is awesome. My family is great. Um, Actually, my older daughter helped me. She's 19 and she proofread it for me. My best friend proofread it for me. So just leaning on, my support system and knowing that I'm not alone. And that, you know, I do have people to help me was huge.
I love that. I love how you've kind of really embraced the inclusion of the support around you as well, making them part of that process and that journey, because it's quite daunting to write a chapter, especially in a collaborative book, when all of
Mhm.
those things, like you were saying, what will people think, a lot of people would give up and kind of go, look, this is too hard. I've got a certain amount of words and I've got to do it in a time frame, and I've got to, not offend anyone. So a lot of people would give up. Whereas you being an unstoppable entrepreneur and mum and career woman, you keep going. You found a way, you called on your support system and you made it happen. You just keep going and find a way. I love that so much. That's I love it. I've got goosebumps. I love how your daughter's been part of this as well. That's a memory that she will cherish forever. Now,
Yeah, she's been great.
going on to the next bit as well, Celeste, because this has been such a transformative journey. And being the book number 3 in the series, there are so many stories of resilience and overcoming adversity, leaving a legacy, all these messages of impact, and all these stories that are unlocking other people's prison or potential. And we're getting such transformative feedback from all of the previous books. Book number 3 is going to be no different. Absolutely. Because it's just a powerful series. With all of the things that you do, all the things that you are, all of the things that you are going to be, anybody who is thinking, wow, this woman does so much, how does she do it? If they were thinking about starting a business, do you have maybe 3 tips that you could share for anybody thinking about starting a business as an entrepreneur? Maybe they're still working.
Yeah, I would say just start. First of all, there's never going to be a time when you're not busy or when there's enough money or when, you're not juggling 17 different things and when you feel 100% confident that you're going to do it right. Like that's just not going to happen. So just do it. Do it. Elsa says, do it messy, do it, just do it and do it messy. Also, don't be afraid to fail. Everybody fails. And actually, I have found that my failure actually helps me more because it makes me more relatable. People don't want to get on Facebook and see your perfect Facebook life and Instagram and see your perfect Instagram life. That's not reality. Be real with people. Um, People don't buy from companies, they buy from people. So, just be yourself, even if it's your, weird self like mine. And then finally, don't compare yourself to other people. You are you. And what other people's version of you may be is none of your business. You be you. Other people's thoughts are none of your business. Other people's actions are none of your business. So just focus on why you are starting the business. What is your why? Um, is it your family? Is it your finances? Is it, a dream that you've had since you were a little girl? Just, focus on that and not on other people's opinions and you'll do just fine.
Some powerful words of advice there as well. It's there's a reason why they say comparison is the thief of joy, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
And
it's
somebody's
true.
chapter 1 is totally different to somebody's chapter 10. And it takes 10 years to be an overnight success.
Yeah, it
Thank you.
doesn't happen quickly.
Oh, it certainly doesn't. There's so much personal and professional development to be the best version of ourselves. And sometimes, that's the reward sometimes as well. So I love how you've shared so many golden nuggets, some powerful tips, some insights and strategies for your chapter in God's timing. What kind of message would you like to leave the audience on today, Celeste?
I would just like to say, don't be afraid of the ugly parts in your life. They become your testimony and they can empower other people who have gone through the same thing to overcome that and to know that they're not alone. Because we're not. We, as women, tend to put ourselves in little bubbles and think that we're alone in things, but we're not. So don't be afraid of the ugly in your life and take it to be a testimony and empower other people.
Don't be afraid of the ugly in your life. I want to see that on a coffee mug or a t-shirt or something, Celeste. I love that. I'm going to embrace that, that phrase. Some wonderful advice. Thank you very much for joining us on this unstoppable episode. We hope you found our conversation with Celeste as the inspiring author of the Unstoppable book series as captivating as what I did. So if you're ready to embark on your own journey of resilience, just like Celeste shared with us, and leave a lasting legacy like Celeste is doing with her girls and her upcoming family as well, don't forget to subscribe to our podcast for more empowering content. And while you're at it, we would greatly appreciate it if you leave a review and share your thoughts and connect with Celeste as well. And to dive even deeper into the Unstoppable book series, be sure to grab your very own copy and immerse yourself in the stories, just like Celeste's story, and ignite your determination and push you beyond your limits to be the best version of yourself. The link for that will be in the show notes. And to connect with our Unstoppable guest, Celeste's links will be in the show notes to stay updated on her latest insights and projects. So make sure you connect with her as well. Her chapter is called In God's Timing. And remember, it's never too late to start creating your own unstoppable legacy. Thank you once again for joining us, Celeste, and we can't wait to have you back on another Unstoppable episode. We'll see you in the pod.
All right. Thank you so much.
The Podcast's Empire, podcast mastery for women in business.